All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Yu Yu Hakusho, episode 66.
All right.
Dark Tournament's over.
Dark Tournament is over. We'll be headed into a new arc soon. Probably going to have a little bit of transition / downtime.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully. There was a little bit of a teaser thing at the end of the last episode. Of this episode, maybe talking about some Spirit World shenanigans.
Yeah, and a reunion between Toguro and Genkai.
Yeah, that doesn't have to take up more than maybe a little bit of the episode,
right.
But we'll see.
We will.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they could have a lot to talk about. But at the same time, they also kind of talked with their
to talk about.
already.
It's just a question of whether or not
we'll be
we
privy
need
to
be there for that. Because that's their business. You know?
Indeed.
And also, given that this is something that our main characters might never actually understand or get to know or what have you, depending on how much this story wants to go into the idea of navigating the world of spirits.
Right.
Because that's definitely a thing that they could do.
Botan
like this.
does her little TV announcer thing with the microphone from behind the bushes while they talk.
And they both blast her with energy or something like that, actually killing her,
That would be problematic.
She's a kind of weak Shinigami,
Yeah, she's got good drip every now and then, but, as far as powers and stuff, she did kind of get shorted.
Yeah, you'd think, given how much blue she has, she should be a little bit more powerful in terms of spirit.
Ah, yes, definitely. Because naturally, the most powerful spirit person is Kuwabara, and he often wears blue, so, yeah.
Yes, the blue man, and he's alive.
And he is alive, because Toguro didn't actually kill him.
Nope.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Without further ado, let's continue this bizarre adventure of mine. I don't know, whatever. Toguro's atonement. His greatest desire.
Oh, shit.
That's all the quiet staring I can handle. Let's get out of here, okay?
Right.
This is interesting. Visually, it's a little different. Oh, yeah, this is a very, different style here.
After all this time, it's gonna feel weird not fearing for my life.
Don't sweat it, Urameshi. I can beat you up at school every day if that makes you feel better.
Well, what are you waiting for, operator? Patch me into Grandma. Come on. Which side's your receiver? What, you'll do it for her, but not for me? You're my spirit animal, you know.
Stop it.
Come on.
Yeah.
It's not possible anymore.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
The spirit world Genkai spoke from is the land between the living and the dead. I thought that humans went to spirit world when they die. Yes, for a short time. But it's merely a junction from which their real journey begins.
Gotcha.
In truth, spirit world is a complex system of many separate worlds.
Whoa, world building.
Yeah.
And with the lands of the dead, there is no communication.
Foul tarnished.
Genkai was a priority case. Her placement should have been quick.
Fine! You heard, Fox Boy. There's nothing we could do for the old hag if she's already limp. Just gotta keep on trucking. Yes, sir. I'm gonna go outside and make myself a nice, big, shiny first-place medal, sit in the sun, and have a stupendous friggin' day, damn it.
Oh, God, the voice actor kills it, even when there's, very little focus
He's so
on
neck deep in repression,
his
even
visuals.
I feel sorry for him.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's saying something.
I'm so glad to have you back in
We're
toddler
actually
form,
seeing
sir.
it.
Yes, well, you carrying a teenage stud in your arms would have looked a bit curious.
Oh my god.
Is his dad back?
Maybe.
Been so long, I even missed the office.
Yes. Oh, no, you don't.
Paperwork.
He's like an NPC bugging out.
I told you guys to do the stamping while I was gone. I even gave you my seal and my favorite ink pad with the ponies
Oh,
on
no.
the top.
And everything was going perfectly until King Yama came around.
My dad?
Yeah, and when he found out you left your paperwork, those veins in his neck popped out, and he said you had to do it all when you got back. You should probably get stamping, sir, so he doesn't give you spanking.
What is this animation?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Oh, perfect. Yeah. Nice.
I would like you to sentence me to limbo.
To limbo?
You're asking me to send you there? Do you even know what limbo is? Obviously, you don't. Of all the destinations of parted spirits, it's by far the most horrific. Absolute misery. Every part of you sliced away except your ability to experience pain. I've weighed your demon crimes against your human achievements, and considering that Sakyo's plan ended in part because of you, a slight punishment will be sufficient. Please, you do have time to reconsider this.
Shit.
But he killed Genkai.
Yeah.
I've had far too much time. My choice is made.
Okay.
Very well. 10,000 years in limbo. Godspeed. Take him away, Ogre.
Yes, sir.
3 months before that dark tournament began, every single one of Taguro's young apprentices were massacred by the tournament's reigning champion.
No way. Taguro is in the same situation as Yusuke.
By that time, Taguro had earned a powerful reputation as a demon killer. He'd built a dojo to train young fighters who hoped to protect their towns. When Taguro was away, Chiron burst into the dojo and slew his relatively defenseless students. The dark tournament was nearing, and Chiron wanted all the participants to fear him before it began. It was a sort of invitation.
Wow.
Shit.
So then Takuro defeated him in the next champion.
Taguro flew into a maddening rage.
Yeah.
And he'd stop at nothing to kill him.
And he won.
Mm-hmm.
The morning before the tournament, he reappeared in front of his team, Genkai and the others. He seemed changed, detached, possessed.
Okay.
Jeez.
Shit.
He killed Chiron in the final round.
And that's also why he wanted to be the strongest, so that way nothing like that would happen again.
Yeah.
Why would he choose to become like the creature he most despised?
Well, that's the million-dollar question. Perhaps it was guilt for not protecting his students. Even
Sure.
though he'd avenged them, it wasn't enough. The only way to atone was to never be vulnerable again. Perhaps he wanted to become the monster he already felt himself to be. Perhaps he was just afraid of loving someone. Perhaps he was just afraid of growing old. Taguro is a complex case. He's like an anthill. The deeper you dig, the more tunnels appear, and inside each is a creature ready to bite. Layer upon layer of bravado facades, contradicting desires, and intensely wrought obsessions. But beneath it all, I suspect you
Sounds
would
like
find
someone we
just
know.
a normal man
Yeah.
with a wounded heart and a broken dream.
Damn.
Wow.
I mean, Tagashi's kind of stroking his own, ego here, but
I mean, he's making it perfectly clear if it
what he
hasn't.
intended for his character to be, which is wonderful.
Yeah, if you haven't made the Yusuke connection by now.
Yeah, if you hadn't made it by now, it should be very plain. And that's helpful because,
And she's waiting for him.
yeah, right outside the gates. Oh, cool.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh, this is gonna be so good.
Don't tell me you're surprised. You knew I would choose to go this way.
I mean, that's why she's here.
Yeah.
You're right, I did know. After that day on the river, I knew how everything would end. And yet I couldn't stop it. You're a hopeless dimwit. You realize that. You just love to wallow in your own ridiculous suffering. Chiron is the one who killed those kids, not you. Don't you think you've blamed yourself enough already for not being perfect? Haven't you blamed me enough too?
Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
You trapped yourself in a body you hated, hiding in the pain, and now you want to torture yourself again for eternity. Why? Haven't we both paid enough?
You're wrong. All that business delighted me. Murdering Chiron, knowing that I was the most powerful. It was through my fear of Chiron that I pushed forward to meet my ultimate potential. I understood my power and was freed from human baggage. And in the larger scheme, I knew the part I had to play. I'm actually thankful for what Chiron did.
warned me, Genkai. Like you said, this is the way I wanted it to end.
No, she didn't say that. She just knew she'd find you here.
Don't stay here trying to figure me out. You have a job to do. Your apprentice, Urameshi, he can still be stronger, but he could go the wrong way too. Like me.
Like me, yeah. Yeah.
Maybe he'll actually listen to you the way I could not.
There it is.
Yeah.
You really care about Yusuke. In your own screwed up way, you've been teaching him too. He's like a son to me. Maybe you think the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kid they weren't able to have.
Yeah.
Don't ever feel regret for the things between us.
That gets him to stop, yeah. Takes off the glasses, yep. Oh!
No, Genkai, but it would have been a beautiful life.
Wow.
Shit!
That gave me chills.
If Urameshi wins this tournament, it's clear what his wish will be. But I'm afraid the tournament committee might not be in perfect health this year. The responsibility, Koenma, might fall on you.
Wait.
Take good care of Genkai's body. Just a friendly piece of advice.
It's just like family vacation. My dumb sister's always making us late, probably plucking her mustache.
Should I tell them about your fluffy doll?
Death!
Enough family stories. I was just telling them how pretty you are.
You're a moron.
Hey, why do I have to carry all your stuff?
Of course you don't have to, but Yukina's drawn to guys who are nice to their sisters.
I am.
Oh.
Thank you, Kazuma. That's very sweet. This too.
No way, Botan. You're not my sister.
Yes, but Yukina's socks are in here.
You don't mind having poo duty, right? Thanks.
Poo
No one's
duty.
gonna take the champ serious if he's holding a blue teddy bear with a beak.
Yeah!
You know you're cute, Pooh.
Yeah.
He's just being a jerk.
You know, I'm actually gonna miss this stupid place.
Yeah.
Feels like
Me
we've been
too.
here for years.
Losing someone can do that.
It took us all morning just to get Urameshi out of his room.
Okay.
Oh, looky here, our ship's arrived. Isn't that happy?
Isn't that happy?
Hands on Botan. Our ship's arrived. Isn't that happy?
Go home!
Well, excuse me if I'm a little insulted.
Hold on a sec.
Nuh-uh.
You just gonna leave the old fossil behind?
Genkai, I don't believe it.
She's really alive!
Hang on a sec. Careful now.
Must have rubbed off on me, dimwit. I died like you, half-assed.
Genkai!
No way. Hold on. What? What? Wait.
Don't do this to me,
can't.
Show!
Hold on. Hang on.
Oh, Yukina, I bet you've never been on a cruise with a boy before, right?
Really?
So it goes. Finally, the champion Urameshi team sails away from Hanging Neck Island with all its members intact. But unbeknownst to them, a new plot is unfolding. In the stadium lurks a new figure, determined to keep Sakyu's plan alive.
Wait.
Oh, really? Oh, really?
Hold on.
Oh, my God. Really?
I
don't know how to feel about this.
don't know how to feel about that either.
I mean, okay, so Koenma had a wish because he was the only one left who could make one, basically, because he's connected to a higher power of sorts. So Toguro basically sets him up of, yes, make a wish for them. You know you know what Yusuke's wish would be. So bring her back.
But yeah, like the fact that we get her back in this episode and we don't get the explanation of how really.
Well, no. That's what he was saying. The tournament committee is not going to be, healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And then he basically says, in some ways, I'll take the L here. I'll go and pay my suffering so that she can live again.
Sure.
Okay, show.
Okay, there are some
explaining
lines
to do because this was something that we were okay with. You did not have to bring her back.
Yeah, that.
But okay, if you're gonna do that and have that be a way to further characterize Toguro, that's wonderful.
Okay.
That's cool.
But we had a way that it was characterizing Toguro already.
Already.
In that it is still possible for him to make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Mistakes are a very human thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
In a way, by doing this, even though it's a decision that is more in tune with his human side, it's also kind of taking away some of those human aspects.
Well, no, I think it's the idea that he basically said it almost in a fourth wall breaking way. Don't sit here and try to analyze me.
Sure.
Don't try and think about why he did it.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, not you're right.
The simplest answer is that the reason how he was able to do it was that obviously they were supposed to get a wish here.
Mm-hmm.
They won the Dark Tournament.
Yep.
But the committee that would have probably been the medium by which they would get access
Contact
to
the being,
whatever a wish was, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Koenma basically is like, yeah, I'll facilitate that because obviously that's his wish.
I'll give them a call and sure.
Yeah, I'll make it happen.
Yeah.
So Koenma and Toguro make this dark bargain.
Mm-hmm.
It happens. Now, it's something where it's painful because Toguro is basically saying, hey, I know that if I didn't do this, I could have gone to whatever the next journey of things in the spirit world would be with you. In fact, she waited for you specifically so that she could do that, but not only that, so that she could stop you from making yourself suffer even more. And he chooses this because, you know what? It's better than the alternative to him.
And so I love it. Like from the character standpoint
for Toguro,
yeah, I love it. Right, I liked the previous, view of what I thought it was, but I like this one too, and in a lot of ways, it's really really good.
Yeah,
but like Yusuke grieved. Like I feel like it was something that happened in the episode and towards the end of the episode. Totally. Yeah.
Genkai did die a while ago.
Yeah, and
the episode count.
Right, and the process that Yusuke had to go through of learning to not repress his emotions quite so much and
happened.
Face them. That happened. That can't be taken away. That was not undone. And at the same time, I now more than ever want to have a transition episode before it gets into the next arc where we can have some time to sit on what just happened, because we would have needed that either way.
Yep.
But now I feel like we need that like doubly so, because
unfortunately I could see this being a thing with a time skip a bit, and
it's sort of like happy ending. There we go.
Yeah, this is a very happy ending because in some ways they were begging whatever forces that be that they could find some way to have this work out, and it did.
Yep.
The happy ending Togashi twist is a really fun one because it doesn't happen very often for his types of stories, and this is one that I thought was rather shocking. So having her be alive because his methods basically ended up being something that was fully for the service of Yusuke. Pretty much.
Yep.
Everything he did
could
have been a very brutal way of training Yusuke.
And the thing is that there was still the opportunity for, if Yusuke failed, for Toguro to kill him, right? Like because it was the whole point was that he would give Yusuke the same situation that he had or very close to it,
right?
So that way he could defeat it, right? Because he
became the demon,
right? He became that demon. Cool. And Yusuke was able to do it. Yep. He was able to do the thing that Toguro couldn't.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. In some ways, there's a lot of really, really cool, like, deep dives you can do in not just the idea of Toguro's character in a broad sense, but in the specific sense, the idea that Toguro tried to make himself into a Chiron for Yusuke's sake. Which is a way of giving back to Genkai ultimately.
Sure, yeah.
Which is a way of covering for the fact in the ways in which he feels he failed Genkai and
Right.
himself by extension. So it's a beautiful closed loop. We basically had a form of a
meta character way for the arc structure to be like self-contained.
A self-contained almost time loop of sorts where everything changes but everything actually stays the same.
Right.
And it's wonderful. It's beautiful that you used a villain who is very clearly an arc-specific villain.
Yep.
Like, Toguro is gone. He is done. He is going to limbo. 10,000 years of suffering.
And I don't think that's something he can punch his way out of.
No.
Just be like, hell yeah, 10,000 years of training. No, it's
No.
It's going to be bad.
No, we might at the very least find some way to maybe hear his voice at some point. Maybe.
Yep.
Maybe.
Right.
But no. This is the end for Toguro. And what an end. The idea that, his character was one that was so wrapped up in the past that he ended up crafting a future for some boy who was loosely connected to someone that he loved.
Yep.
Just because, hey, that's something I can do. And at the very least, I can't redeem the situation with Genkai, but maybe I can...
Right.
Maybe I can give something that will truly be immortal, something that will last beyond one life.
And what I love about this is that it's not that he was wanting to like make it so that Yusuke would be strong or something, right? Because that's like, yes, that's a byproduct of it.
Sure.
But Toguro was able to do that, right? That's like, he could have just made Yusuke like him and Yusuke would be plenty strong.
And then
he
would have gotten a fight just like he wanted,
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
But that's not what he wanted.
He wanted more than that.
He wanted to be able to pass on the thing that he couldn't learn, right? The very thing that he didn't have. He wanted to
prove that he had learned it, and as well as maybe a bunch of other things.
Yep. And maybe as an apology to Genkai for the fact that he wasn't able to learn it way back then, you know?
Yeah, there's so much fascinating stuff you could get out of his character from the stuff that we've had thus far. I kind of like the idea that Koenma kind of speaks for Togashi here and is like, actually, if you go back and look, there were a lot of hints that it was very much a thing of him pulling the strings and setting this all up. But I'm like, yeah, I very much vibe with that. That's true.
It makes sense because like the idea of Toguro, Toguro was the one who initiated a lot of this. So the idea that he is just on someone else's like paycheck, basically, right? That always felt kind of off, right? And that maybe that was more of a thing of convenience rather than like he's actually like, you know, Sakio owns him or whatever, right? Turns out, no, it wasn't just a thing of convenience.
Yep.
Toguro was using this whole situation.
Sakio even felt that for a little bit. There was a point where Sakio was like, wait a minute.
Hold on.
Like, have I been looking at you the wrong way this whole time? And yeah, you did.
Now, we got a hint for a new arc in that there's a new person, a new thing, a new challenger or whatever.
Okay. So Karen, as we're lovingly going to call him, probably fused with Sakio.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, some lingering spirit possession or whatever.
It's a means by which one or both of them can be resurrected. And that way we can have a villain that is an arc villain continuation of a previous storyline, but not have just be that, Toguro didn't kill Chiron, you know?
Right.
What do you know? He actually survived. And it's like, okay, that's kind of boring. But what if actually it was some kind of like humanoid version of Chiron? Because Chiron gives me Perfect Cell vibes a little bit.
Ooh, sure.
And the idea of, going from this kind of finale for the Dark Tournament, which felt very much inspired by DBZ, I very much could see this being a thing where it's like, now from here, then we get into basically some super demon shit.
Yeah.
And also the idea of maybe having a humanoid demon as well.
Right. One of the other things that it makes me think, if Chiron is showing up now as opposed to earlier, yes, it could just be that it's at this location, and even if it's 50 years later, it doesn't really matter. But there's this part of me that wants to wonder if, like, one of the ways that the wish was granted to Toguro is that it was like he fed on the souls of the people that had died in the tournament or something like that. And so that was, so like when Yusuke did the final spirit gun and the muscles and everything like got shattered away from him, that was also kind of the souls of the people that had been trapped within him that had been like set free somehow, because he was feeding on the souls of the other people in the stands, right?
Right.
So like maybe it was something where that's like the mechanical reason of how Chiron's soul has lingered this long, you know, and why it would suddenly have something happen now as opposed to any time earlier.
Because a lot of people died here.
Right, a lot of people died here, and hey, suddenly he's set free.
Possibly.
Oh, there's a body here, you know, that maybe isn't quite dead. Like Sakyo is like dying in the rubble, but he wasn't killed instantly, you know. And then he latches onto him, gives him strength, and...
I'm trying to remember. They've been making this point a bit over the course of the series, but the idea that Koenma can kind of, like, lazily end up deciding that someone maybe should get a second, like, chance at life, or not a second chance at life, but, like, moved into a thing that they maybe shouldn't have, or what have you.
Yusuke's whole situation at the start of the show, yeah.
True, but they've brought this up later points as well, and they even brought it up comically here. Who knows? This could just be a thing where we've got a situation where Koenma didn't, you know.
He gave the stamp to some of his people, and they were just doing the stamp thing without looking at stuff, and then
Sakyo actually like just didn't get killed.
Well, Sakyo or just some other demon spirit got mislabeled, basically, got the wrong stamp, and then shit, you know.
Yeah.
And then King Yama is like, "Damn it, son, this is all your fault," you know.
Right, but the design of the character in the ED looks very much like an enhanced demon Sakyo of sorts.
Yep.
And Toguro is kind of the picture of what a humanoid demon would look like, but he, weirdly enough, like he felt way more human.
Right.
And I think having a more demon with some human features where it's like, you know, in the end,
reminiscent of being human, but
but the idea of that kind of through line of the themes, that Toguro was one of the best of the humans, if you will, but ultimately ended up becoming a monster for the sake of his dream. And in his broken dream, he might have found the last little touch of his own humanity and still resigned himself to suffer for all eternity and be damned, basically. So, yeah.
One of the other things that I'm curious about is that given that there were a lot of things that were set up as like potential next arc stuff of like, the portal and things like that, but because of fun and compelling character decisions, that's not happening. This could potentially be a way to make it so that it's like, okay, but that exposition stuff is still going to get used
because it was very valuable.
It was very valuable and a cool idea
that we used it for.
But the motivational reasons as for why it happens are going to be different.
Very different.
Even if the concrete, tangible plot device stuff that ends up happening is still the same. Yeah.
Yeah, that totally could be the case. I really feel like having a demon portal kind of plotline in general just feels way too good to pass up.
It definitely feels like a way to deal with the power escalation potential issue.
Yep, it's also a classic kind of video game, kind of shonen style story where it's bunch of enemies are coming through from this other world, which will eventually
Earth's under attack, you know.
Right, but we'll eventually have to go into that world, learn about it, discover it, have like a rescue mission or something, and then classic shit there. But yeah, I feel like I could go on for like an essay of like writing out Toguro's like characterization here,
and I'm sure there's many video essays on him.
I'm sure on him, yeah, because I feel like he has. Well, this is Togashi just understanding, in my opinion, what just makes good characters. Contradictions.
Yep.
Toguro is a walking spiderweb of contradictions. And even Koenma kind of like had Togashi clapping himself on the back with like, he's like an anthill. You keep going down, and there's more layers and more tunnels with little beasts inside.
Don't try and, put me into a simple category.
Right. I'm way more than just a meathead antagonist.
Exactly.
And it's like, yes, of course you are. Of course you are. But, like, he's actually pretty compelling on the level of just a
person?
Just a person. Yeah, forget him being a fictional character. Like, obviously he's a fictional character, but the idea of, like, if you had a person put into this situation, right?
Right.
a lot of the decisions that he made are very clear combinations of emotions, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not really something that's hard to understand. It's the kind of thing where, oh, I wouldn't necessarily relate to those decisions as much.
Yeah.
But I can understand that it was a combination of these emotions plus something else that I might not fully understand.
It wasn't just something done for the lulz. Like,
or just for the sake of power, or some kind of mechanic in the world that doesn't exist in our world.
Yeah, it's very difficult to do this kind of villain recontextualization because, there's a reason that a lot of times characters' motivations are kept simple, because simple is easy to work with, right? And that doesn't mean it has to be, less than by any means, right? Mm-hmm. But Togashi's never satisfied with just having things simple unless there's a lot of complicated things that work together to make it so that the simple thing is actually like the subversion itself. Yeah, exactly. So, doing this with Toguro, okay, yeah. I love it.
To see Genkai though,
that was great, and seeing them talk and everything, that was awesome. But I am going to have to, and I get the feeling
sit on this.
Yeah, breathe and sit on this, and I get the feeling Yusuke might have to do this as well. But take some time to adjust to the idea that Genkai could actually be back, because it's not just the thing of, oh, you're not dead, but then it's also the thing of the, can I let myself get attached to you in the way that I used to be, given the fact that you were just taken away from me, and theoretically that could happen again, and I don't want to go through that kind of pain. So,
but that's the thing. I feel like in some ways that's kind of the point with Toguro being like, I'm gonna walk right into the pain. I'm gonna accept it.
Yep. That's the benefit of strength, right?
That's the benefit of strength, yeah. Mm-hmm. Is that you actually can weather the pain.
Yep.
Because you know that at the very least it's going to, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So, all right, what happens when you're already dead? Can't kill me anymore. So,
right. Yep.
In some ways, Toguro is setting himself up. Like, I almost wonder.
Mm-hmm.
I almost wonder, because I've heard stories about the Yu Yu Hakusho, like Togashi, like kind of went like this, like near the end of the story.
Oh, Like it ended up needing to get like wrapped up really quickly.
I wonder if this is or was a setup for a
Toguro will be back after he
will be like the final basically test, if you will. Not a villain.
Oh,
but the final test where he actually gets through limbo in 10 years.
Sure, right.
Instead of 10,000.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, It did very much seem like the kind of thing where it's like, wait, but we don't have to be saying goodbye to Toguro, right? Like,
and in some ways Togashi kind of has the perfect thing of where it works as an ending, but he's like, if I wanted to, at a later point.
Right. Let's say Koenma gets desperate and he's like,
sure.
He's like, my dad is going to paddle me something fierce. Toguro, get me out of this, do my paperwork for me, or
maybe
something more
like,
serious.
Or maybe something more like a war in the like spirit realm in general, and it's like, we need every fighter that we can.
Yep.
Before things go to shit.
Can you imagine how crazy awesome it would be if we ever got the shot of Yusuke and Toguro standing back to back, fists up, and like fighting a horde of whatever. Like I have no idea what kind of hurdles and bending over backwards would need to be done in order to make that work in the story.
But that would be so.
But that would be
especially
really
after
cool.
like not seeing him for like 40 episodes or something. Where it's like, all right, sure, and then I'm back, Yusuke, and you just be like.
Right. Exactly that kind of sound.
Right. Yep. Just like, oh my god. That would be perfect.
Okay.
But yeah, I am in shock right now. I hurt.
We got 2 death fake outs. Like, that's dirty, Togashi. That's playing dirty.
Very dirty.
And now we're never gonna believe you again.
Yep, no one's gonna die now.
Never. No one is actually
No
going
one
to
is
die.
allowed to die.
It just can't happen.
I'm
right?
sorry, Tagashi. You fucked up. Now we literally will not be worried for anybody.
And to be fair, we're I think around halfway done with the show at this point. So that
I guess that means we can
maybe that
guarantee-
won't be too much of a problem.
Right. I guess that means that we can guarantee all the other shonen tropes, though. Keiko has zero shot of having any relationship with Yusuke now. That's just guaranteed to be the thing.
Say it isn't so.
Sorry, it's just the way it is.
Well, I guess
Yusuke will get some kind of like alternate form of some kind, some kind of thing like that.
No, see, because that's what Toguro was. He was the person with the alternate form.
Right. But that's the thing, is that Toguro can now be used also as a form of foreshadowing in that way.
Yusuke gets a pompadour, and that's his alternate form.
I dig it.
Yep.
But
it's for like a one-off episode with him and Kuwabara
like
getting some bro
powers
time.
and then doing a final spirit gun or what have you, and then he becomes a boxer at a gym and teaches other people how
until the Fullbring arc starts.
Their first step,
Until the Fullbring arc starts,
if you will.
Yeah. Oh man, but this was a lot. It was a lot.
It was a lot. So that's why I think we're just kind of shell-shocked with the discussion kind of thing here. But yeah, really excited for the next arc. So y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next arc, I assume's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below. For our Patreon, you can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access. You can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.